Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to review two arcs that I recently read that I received from NetGalley. One of them I really enjoyed, one of them was just fine, and then one of them has already been released, and then the other one will be released a couple of days after you guys see this video. So we will go ahead and get started. So the first arc that I want to talk about is This Wretched Valley by Keifer. This is a adult horror. This one was released on January 16th, so it is out there and available. But at the start of this one, we learned that 4 bodies were found out in the woods, and we learned that there were some like mysterious circumstances into how the bodies were found, and some mysterious circumstances into like the condition that their bodies were found. Then we flash backwards. So then we meet these 4 people. So the first one and the main character in this story would be Clay. He is a college student. He is working on his dissertation. And as a part of that, he wants to explore like these uncharted woods. So he decides to ask his friend Sylvia to help him with that. Sylvia is in school to study plants, and she's also a pilot. So she originally helped him find this area for them to explore. So then he also asked his friend Dylan to come along. She's an influencer. She's a rock climber. She just got like sponsored by this really like popular rock climbing company. And he wants her to come along because in this area that they're going to go explore, there's also this rock wall that Dylan is going to be climbing. Dylan is going to need help with that, obviously, because she can't climb it herself. And so Dylan asked her boyfriend Luke to join them. So we have our 4 characters, and they are going to go out into the woods. Now, before they even get there, some strange things start to happen. So when Clay and Sylvia was even trying to find this area, they were up in the plane. She flies planes, like their GPS stopped working a couple of times. And then when Clay tried to show his professor like this area that they wanted to go to, they couldn't find it on the map. It like disappeared, and then all of a sudden it reappeared. And then when the group got together and they were on their way into the woods, they stopped at this like random diner that was out there, and their waitress was like, I don't think you guys should go out there because a lot of people who go into this particular section of the woods, they don't return. And if they do return, they're not the same as when they went in there. But of course, you know, these 4 people ignored all the red flags that were showing, and they decide to go into the woods. And as soon as they go into the woods, again, strange things starts to happen. Like their GPS goes in and out when they're trying to find like the area that they plan to actually explore and use as like their base camp. When Dylan and Luke start to climb this wall that they were so excited to climb, some things start to happen. People get injured and they start hallucinating at one point. Just some crazy things start to happen in these woods. And so we are just following these 4 characters as they are trying to get out of the woods. So I gave this one 3 stars. I like the setting. I like that we're only following 4 people. I like that it was set in the woods. It felt like I was out there in the woods with them. I liked when everything that was happening to them was like subtle, because we don't know why their GPS stopped working. We don't know why they're hallucinating. We don't know why their injuries became so severe after only a day. Like, we don't know what's happening. So I liked when we just didn't know. The issues that I had with this, number 1, was like the pacing. There were some parts of this that was just like super duper slow, and it just felt like it was kind of dragging. And then I also just really did not like the flashback chapters. Periodically, we would get these flashbacks of people who were out in the woods previous to them and the things that they experienced, but it wasn't like people who were like out there like a month or 2 before them. This was like people who were in the woods in like the 1800s and like 1947 and 1988. So this was like a long time before they entered the woods. And every time we got those flashback chapters, it just kind of took me out of our main story, and I felt like that is what started to slow the story down. I also didn't like where the story ended up. I felt like when we started to find out what was causing all of this chaos out in the woods, it got really, really cheesy, and I think it took away from the horror for me. And I just liked it when we just didn't know, and I wish it stayed that way where we didn't know what happened to them. Overall, I gave this one 3 stars. It seems like from the reviews that I've been reading, people have really enjoyed this one. So even though I didn't necessarily care for it by the end, maybe you guys will and should check it out. The then the next arc that I want to talk about is called The Resort by Sara Ochs. This is a mystery thriller. This one will be released on February 6th. So this one follows two characters. So our first character is Cass, and she is living on this resort out in Thailand. She is what we would call a permanent, because a group of people on this island, they all live there, they work there, this is their home, and they call themselves the permanents. They have really formed like a close friendship. She's actually engaged to one of them, and Cass is also a scuba instructor. So yeah, she's just living her life on this resort. We learn at the very beginning though that she is like hiding some secret. It's a secret that she hasn't even told her fiance yet that has something to do with her father and her younger sister. So then we follow our other character. Her name is Brooke. She is a travel influencer. She posts a lot of her content on Instagram. And so at the start of the story, she has been on this island for a couple of weeks. And so she's there because she's trying to get content for her social media. And so we also learn that before Brooke arrived to the resort, there was another person that was staying at the resort who died. They fell from a cliff. Some people think that that woman that died, she committed suicide. And some people think it might have been something more sinister that took place that caused her to fall from this cliff. And we also learned that Brooke might have a different reason on why she is on this island as well. So at the start of this, Cass begins to receive like these notes at her door saying that they know her secret, they're going to expose her secret, and she is freaking out because she doesn't want anybody to know why she's really there. And then eventually somebody else turns up dead on this island, and that's how Cass and Brooke come together, because they are trying to figure out what happened to this person that died. Was it an accident? Was it not an accident? And then slowly throughout the story, more bodies turn up dead, and then we start to find out the connection between Brooke and Cass and their true intentions for being on this particular resort. I thought this was a fun story. It was very fast-paced. It kept me guessing. I did not guess any of the twists. I absolutely loved the epilogue at the end. I also like that it was set on this island. Again, it's another one of those stories where I felt like I was on the island with these characters. I also liked how we had an unreliable narrator. So Cass, because of this secret that she was hiding, due to the events of that, she was prescribed some Xanax, and so we couldn't ever really trust her version of events that took place on this island at all. It was all a question, and then you just kind of question like everybody's motives on this island. Like the permanents, the people that actually live there, you don't really know their motivations. Why are they living on this island? Like, why did they choose to work at this resort? It just seemed like everybody had secrets, and listen, we all know I like some mess, and I do feel like at the end it did kind of get messy when everything was revealed on everybody's true intentions. So I had a fun time with this one. I think this would be like a great read if you need something to read in like the summertime. If you're just chilling by the pool, this is definitely one of those books because it is fast paced, and I think you will be hooked from the beginning. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So that's actually all that I have for you guys. Again, this Wretched Valley has already been released, and then if The Resort sounds good to you, that will be released on February 6th. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.